Okay, today I'm going to try to reproduce in 2 hours as much as I can of Arc Search's pinch to summarize interaction in Origami. A few friends and I are doing this prototype challenge in order to try to get better at origami. We've all been meaning to get better at origami but haven't made the time for it. So the idea is that I'm going to set a timer for 2 hours and then try to implement some part of this in origami, um, which I think will be pretty difficult. But let's see what happens. All right, so 2 hours starts. The first thing I'm going to do is just capture a video of this. Hopefully, this will not disturb my existing recording. Okay. So I notice that as I pinch, the bottom of the page is shaded. It gets folded up in a way where here the bottom of the page is sort of showing as a reverse fold with shadow. There's some kind of gradienty lights going on in the background. Let's take a look at this. So the pinch tracks both the distance between the fingers and also their centroid location, so you can translate with the pinch while the pinch is going on. There's the shiny things in the background. When you let go, here we're actually seeing a cached summary because I've actually done this once before. So let me look also at what happens on a new page that I haven't summarized yet. Because there's this kind of waiting state where it dances a little bit. All right, so now I've got both of those. So here I pinch. Huh. I notice that the page actually scrolls up a little bit as it moves into place. You can see chapter 2 getting closer to the top. I'm not quite sure what the logic is. I think maybe it's like undoing I think maybe it's undoing the safe area margin at the top of the screen under the status bar and the notch. Okay, and then it dances, and then there's like a radial outward reveal. Summarizing for you, scales down, blurs out. There's a masked blur, probably? Yeah, it's not a progressive blur. It's all de-blurring at the same rate, but there's a radial mask. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I think we'll be lucky to get just the pinch to zoom part happening with fidelity in the next 2 hours. This is pretty elaborate. There's some interesting shadow stuff going on at the corners. If we look at the upper left and upper right edge of the screen, there's kind of a funny scrim filling in the corner radius, and then it fades out. I'm gonna kind of just ignore that. I think it might just be a bug. Hmm. All right, so how to do this? Well, uh, I think I'm gonna. Oh, it's funny. The corner radii, I guess they don't match because what I'm seeing in the upper left here is like the actual corner radius of the iPhone. Um, but the screen, the display buffer, has the kind of shiny purple stuff in the background in the upper left corner. Arc must be setting the corner radius on the page. Unnecessary masking. Anyway, okay, so I think I'm going to start. And to be clear, I don't really know origami very well at all, but we're going to see what we can do. Um, so first off, I want, how does that toolbar at the bottom behave? Does it slide out? Yeah, it slides out. Okay, so that toolbar is going to be one component. I'm not going to worry about the complex transparency effect on it for the purposes of prototyping. Whoop, I'm going to just clip that out. Um, and I'm going to treat it as an image. I don't really want the black bar. Is that going to cause problems for me? Yes, it is. All right. I'm going to I'm going to use kind of a faux clone tool, I guess. What am I going to do? I'm going to do this very hackily. Hmm, why doesn't that match? Different color spaces, probably. Uh, yeah. Okay, so is this document P3? How do I tell? Here. Yeah, it's P3. Okay. So is my screenshot not P3? Yeah. All right, well, maybe it's because the fancy gradient underneath is. Okay, I'm just not going to worry about that for now. It's fine. Cool. So, mm, all right, so we got that thing faked at the bottom of the screen, and then I think I'm also going to. Hmm, I need to somehow grab the page from underneath the bar because it's gonna fold up. Uh, Jeez. All right. Well, I can do that. What I'm gonna do. So I guess we're doing chapter 2 here. I have the top of this page, so I'm just gonna scroll down. I'm just gonna scroll down a little bit in the browser, and then I can knit together these two images. Oops. Okay. Um, hmm, Sorry. Okay. I would like the screenshot. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to knit together these two screenshots to get the full vertical area. And I guess, let's see, probably white out. My dog is making squeaky sleeping noises in the background. Hopefully that's not getting picked up on the microphone. Okay. Uh, Oops. Great. So I'm going to white out the top of this. And okay, along with the Royal Societies. All right, now, okay, 1180 by 2556, 1180 by 2556. All right, right. I guess I don't actually need to export. I can probably just copy here, maybe? Yeah, okay. It needs to be scaled down by, I guess, 3? Is it 3? 1180 is not divisible by 3? What is the scale factor? Uh, I thought it was. Ah! I don't. It's supposed to be 375? Okay. Big yikes. Yeah, I guess I've been out of the iPhone game for a while. I didn't realize. All right, so sorry, it's 375 by 812. All right, 375 by 812, so be it. 812 and change? Now, why is this so off? What's going on here? Oh, this is 393. Er? iPhone 14 Pro. Oh, that's because I'm looking at the wrong thing. 393 by 852. Okay. Jeez. So it is a third. Yeah? Third-ish. Uh, okay. 1179 it says. I don't know why I have an 1180 pixel thing here. That's kind of funny. Okay, maybe I'm just not going to worry about that. Okay, 8 393 by 852. This doesn't have to be so complicated. Okay. All right, so that's the beginning of the interface, and now we're going to do, I guess I need to composite the status bar back on top of that. Is there like a standard status bar component probably? Really? Maybe? That's the status. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah. Cool. All right. That is a good start. Um, so I'm gonna have Origami running on my device, and I will go ahead and mirror Origami so you can see what's on my device. It is connected. Uh-oh. Come on. Well, okay. Why are you not working? Is it because I'm recording video, maybe? Could that be? No? Okay, save and restart Origami. Uh, hmm. Still not showing up on my device. Um, could it be the cable for some reason? Let me try a different cable. And clearly it was working for the purposes of streaming the video. But whatever, let's try a different cable. Okay. And of course that does nothing. Okay, force quit Origami on my device. Relaunch it. Hey, okay, that worked. Can I switch the cable back now? The other one was better. Okay. Force quit Origami. Relaunch Origami. Yes, okay. And can I show my phone again? Ooh, maybe not. Hmm. Yes. Okay, great. Great. So we've got phone, and we've got origami, and we've got obnoxiously doubled bottom bar here, so I'm going to have to deal with this bottom bar at some point. Okay. So now we're going to do this crazy thing where we pinch, and this happens. So I think I think the thing to do is to divide this image in half. Um, so I'll crop the two halves. That's probably going to be obnoxious to do in origami. I probably want to crop it in Figma. Does the crop stay in the same place? No. It kind of moves. Um, it looks like it stays in the same place until I let go, and then it moves upwards to counteract the margin at the top of the screen. All right. Well, let's see. I should be able to crop this. So I'm going to hide this for a sec. Okay. Don't link these. Um, why? Okay. You need to clip. How do I make you clip? Oh, I'm modifying the disabled one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. All right. That's a fine start. So now I need to move it down to counteract what I just did. I need to move the interior to counteract what I just did. Um, yeah, I know how to do this in core animation, but origami is not quite exposing all of the pieces here. Um, fills, yeah, masking layers. Maybe that's the way to do it. So I keep the layer whole, but I mask it? Maybe? Um, okay, so what? Draw a rectangle. No. Draw. Ugh. Uh, what? Alright. Uh, draw a rectangle. Great. Rectangle. So I'm gonna use this rectangle to mask. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. That's gonna work. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing for the bottom half. Yeah. Mm, now, what exactly has happened here? Okay, you should be at the origin. All right, now we have two separate pieces that make a whole. It pulls in from the bottom, yeah? From underneath that bar. Yep. Yeah. All right. So as we pinch the two scale, let's just begin with that. We're just going to scale those two down as we pinch. And we have to scale them in tandem. But it's okay, actually. I mean, we're going to treat these two as full screen groups. So we're going to scale them both, I guess, relative to their centers, because they're divided at the center, hopefully. Let's actually divide them at the center. Um, why do I not see the size of the artboard when I select the artboard? How big is the artboard? The memory of a goldfish this morning, 852. Okay, so these should be 426 high. All right. Does this thing divide at calculating engine? No. Divide somewhat higher. Probably they divide it by the half. Um, by the distance above this thing. So that would be 852 minus, what was it, 76? 852 minus 76, 388. It's a lot of mousing, I gotta say. It's a lot of mousing. Okay. But the bottom mask will go all the way down. Hmm. I think the scale points aren't going to be quite right, but okay. Let's let's just see what happens. So what? Pinch? All right. So you have implemented tap, double tap, long press. Is that all you have implemented? Gesture? Kind of gesture. Translation of velocity. Looks like I need to implement pinch myself. That's okay. We can do that. I have done that before. Long, long ago at Apple. All right. Let's implement a gesture. Oh, the problem is this is just going to give me one finger. Duh. Okay, I guess I'm. So we got to go to touches. Yeah. Do we really have to chop all the way down to touches? Ooh, I think if that's right, then I'm basically doomed. There's no way I'm gonna. I can maybe get this going in 2 hours. Uh, let's see if the um, Origami Facebook group has figured out. Maybe somebody has made a patch for Pinch that I can download. Oh, Mattis. Mm, okay. Somebody's made a. Mm, okay. Well, they didn't really implement Pinch. They just. Hey, okay. Yeah. Thanks, Jonathan Hammond. It's kind of a funny picture. Okay. Ba ba ba. So, okay, but can I. Jonathan Hammond, can I download your pinch gesture, please? Um, added to my repo. Where is your repo? Do you have like a GitHub or is this just a resume? I, ah, uh, oh, all right. Um, He's made like a special component. Uh, Julius. All right. That link is broken? Oh, and also they broke the back button. Now I'm lost. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Cloudly. Which is now Zeit. Okay. We're doomed. We're doomed. The internet is. Yeah. All right. Well, so I'm gonna try this out on my phone, I guess. Uh, it is not actually appearing on my phone. Well, uh, okay. So is this? Here we go. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. Counter pivot snap, huh? Look at all these broadcasts. Oh no. I don't know whether the prospect of actually using this or of recreating some subset of this bothers me more. Uh, I'm just very skeptical that I can actually use this for anything. It's not appearing on my device. Um, oh, maybe that's because I had the wrong QuickTime window. No, okay, here we go. So there's like physics built into this thing. Okay, and I can pinch it and I can rotate it. All right. Maybe I can make something of this. Um, okay, so I can like enable and disable. Great. I don't want rotate. I don't want momentum. Well, do I want momentum? There's probably momentum in this thing. No, not really. I let go. There's a haptic confirmation, and then it animates into place. Um, am I going to be able to know when it's released? Does this patch publish? Where does this patch publish anything about the state? Um, nope. But I could probably modify it to do so. Hmm. Um, what is this? Oh, I see. This output is tied to this layer. I don't know why this layer is repeated in four different patches here. Okay. And I also want to kind of like, I guess, publish this output. I don't actually know how to do that. Origami, unlink from library to, okay, this is, I can't modify this right now. Sure. Ba-ba-bum. Cool. Great. uh, uh, there is a way to publish values to the parent. I remember this. Um, oh, I see. So now this stuff is just all on the root canvas. Well, that's okay, actually. Okay, so then I don't yet need to figure out how to publish things. I should probably do that at some point, but now this is like a something that publishes things. Uh, all right. Ba, 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 ba. So I see. So this is like an initial position. All right, all right, all right, all right. I can sort of see what's going on. I think I can probably make use of this. Um, yeah, so this was a published thing in the previous copy. What is this back to? Whoa. Okay, this is a component. Yeah, clearly don't understand um, some of the essentials of origami here. Ba, 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 ba. How to, like, variable? How does one make one of these? Well, I take it that components can have inputs and outputs, and there's some way to make the patches representing those inputs and outputs, and I'm not going to do any abstraction in this prototype, so I'm just not going to worry about that right now. I guess I do still need to figure out how to publish some things from within this prototype. I want, um, yeah, I want its state to appear here so that I can use it in downstream components. How how do um, group in a component? It already is a component. Um, nope, nope. Okay, time to read the docs. Component inputs and outputs. There we go. Okay, the I button. Inputs and outputs. So, yikes, that's how I do it. It's a pretty baroque interface. Can I do it here? Nope. Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna want the transform scale, and I'm gonna want um, the state of the drag gesture, like if it's released. I'm looking at the wrong component here. I'm sure that somewhere in here there is something that represents counter pivots. What is, okay, this is something for rotation. That's for rotation. This is breaking apart the settings. Uh, multiple drag layers. We're not going to work with that. All right, so it's actually somewhat more concise. Pinch, scale, is this another and? Okay, okay, I see. Uh, but where's this come from? Oh, okay, okay, here we go. Two finger gesture. What is a two finger gesture? Is that a patch? Could I have made a two finger gesture in the first place? Looks like no. Okay, so where is two finger gesture come from? Oh, okay. Components all the way down. This makes sense. All right. This is perfectly reasonable. So this is parsing out the touches, like I was fearing I was going to need to do. Hey, it's got this two fingers down thing, so that's what we're going to need to reach in and grab. Okay, pinch, scale. Yeah, we do some vector math. Yeah, I guess there isn't a magnitude thing you'd really expect there to be. All right. Um, yeah, and then you get a scale. Okay, this is actually pretty reasonable. Either source valid. What does this mean? What? Pinching. Oh, it even publishes a pinching variable. Um, what the hell does either source valid do? What is this? Um, all right, I have no idea. It seems like it's just passing the input on through. That's fine. Okay, so this thing publishes pinching, it looks like. Is that right? Yes, it does. Okay. So pinching is published here, and it's anded with, so this and represents whether, where's this down coming from? There. Has multiple? Er, what? All right, well, um, I think this is maybe like an optional feature or something um, for the experimental multiple drag layer support. So rotation pivot, or maybe it's something about the interaction between scale and rotation. Either way, it looks like I can ignore. It looks like I can ignore this whole thing and just assume. Um, all right, so this and is true while pinching is happening. And then there's an accumulator. What is this accumulator for? Why are we integrating? Um, I noticed that. Hmm. Boy, what a mess. What do you connect to? Oh, there's an interacting thing that's published. Somehow I missed that in all of the mess. All right. Um, it looked like it was published, but it's not actually here. Oh, it's just broadcasted. to somewhere? I don't really understand. Hmm. Okay, so it's uh, right. I need to unlink. I don't really understand what determines which of these things is published and which is not. So position, scale, rotation Z, and pivot are published. Rotation Z, scale. That's funny. So there's like a published scale and a broadcasted scale, and a published pivot and a broadcasted pivot. So I guess that's clearly the pattern. If we unlink this, then yeah, well, we can repeat the pattern. So you're a Boolean. Okay, right. And these things aren't live because I'm now editing the copy of my component. All right, all right. There's also this like little blue demo dot thing. Um, we don't actually want that. I don't know if that's a property of this prototype. I think it is. Oops. Okay. Because if I go to this prototype, if I go to this prototype, well, whatever. Okay. Um, touch indicator. All right. Well, if I hide this, does the yeah? Okay. Touch indicator goes away. Great. Well, let's just go ahead and try to take this. Can I just copy and paste components like this? Hey, why do you make a artboard? It's kind of weird. Um, well, whatever. You've got this drag, scale, rotate, and you've got the interacting. Okay, so I guess you have an artboard because you're a component, like a layer component, as opposed to a patch component or something like that. So we want to instantiate this. How do we instantiate a component? Copy and paste? No, no. How to make a component? No. Okay, back to the documentation, I guess. Layer component. Okay. Inserting components. They're a type of layer. They live in a layer library. So here, right. All right. Yeah. I believe I make them children of this thing. Mm, why though? Hmm. All right. Well, the top half is positioned correctly. If the bottom half isn't, oh, that looks fine. So What? Hmm. Why is your position showing us all the way up there? Okay, this is something about like anchor points and positions that I'm fearing I don't quite understand. Why is your position all the way up there? I don't follow. Why does scrolling this not move the layer? Is this doing some kind of automatic layout thing? Maybe? Yes? Well, okay. Let's not do that. Cool, they're just randomly positioned. That's what I wanted. Um, the top left is being positioned at 0, and that's the center. So the center of this layer is 0. Why is that? Um, there's some details of the coordinate system here that I clearly don't fully grasp. Well, um, this changes. I expected this to move the whole layer around. So how does anchor work? We don't get to know, I guess. Hmm. Okay, layout, but I'm trying not to use layout. Hmm. It's the origin of the coordinate system for that patch. Okay, so based on the behavior I'm seeing, it seems to me that something has an anchor point in the center in this hierarchy, like that. All right. Well, now they're at the correct position, but they're invisible for some reason. Why though? They're clipped. Why? Um, because they have automatic size and I've disabled um, auto layout, so the automatic size feature doesn't work. Okay, so I'm just gonna set the size. Can I do that? 393 by 852. This doesn't need to be general. Oh, can't set it. What is this thing? This is like, what kind of layer is this? It's like it's a special kind of layer. Can I find the matching icon? Okay, sublayer container. Is it documentation for a sublayer container? Nope. All right. It let me change the height. Oh, okay. I guess I can size it. Great. So, right. Okay. I would like to see what I've got. There we go. Hey! That's a start. So I'm pinching on device now, and we are seeing the thing scale down. Now it should be under the bottom bar. Okay. I think this thing had a Z value. It's a little bit rude. Why is that not editable? It's because it's specified in code. Code. Ba, 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 ba. Could you? Jesus. Okay. Where is that one coming from? Hmm, once more into the breach. Why are we looking at this in 3D? Is another thing I would like to know. When this is a 2D drag gesture. I'm quite sure why this isn't live in this moment. I think it's maybe because I'm viewing the component rather than the instance or something like that. Um, Drag, okay. And this is 2D. Where does the third dimension come in? Position. Where's position exported? Here. Counter pivot snap. Point 3D. This is where this Z comes from. Maybe? Why? Why? Okay. Alright. That just does not need to be there. Or maybe it does, and I will discover that later. Alright. And now, hey, great. Great. So we got this thing. I'm going to make the background gray just so I can see what's going on a little better. All right, that is a start. You shouldn't have momentum. Also, you shouldn't build a rotate. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, well that is a real start. I don't know what bounds does. Not sure. Not going to worry about it right now. No, I think the Arc browser actually does like a rubber band on the pinch. Eh, not really, actually. It'd be better if it did. Like, going the other way should slightly scale the page if I go to a pinch greater than 1. Okay. So, what now? So now we want to tie the pinch, um, we want to tie the progress of the pinch to the some other properties, basically, to the rotation and shading. So we're gonna publish output. Cool. Um, okay. Um, all right. Just scale. What have I done wrong? Shouldn't this be one? I think again I may be looking at the. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, well, okay, I'm interacting with the real thing. That's one problem. Okay, now this layer info patch is not actually giving me um, the layer. I want to access its output. How to do that? How do I get at your output? So I have made now, I have made pinch scale, behavior tag. Whoa. Okay. Um, I want like a reference to this layer. No, I don't want to make another one. Well, what happens if I do this? No. How do I get a component's output? All right, back to the docs, I think. Why do they keep disappearing? Am I closing that window? Ah, select a port and choose publish port. So did I make a port but I didn't publish it? Is that what's going on? Select a port and choose component publish port. Okay, well. Hmm. What is a port? Oh dear. Okay, is the issue that... No? Really seems like this should do it. General settings animation. Do I have to maybe give it some other tag here? I don't know. Samples. Hmm. Whoa. Oh, wow. It's pretty elaborate. Okay. Um, what I... Nope. I just want to see it. Here it is. Okay. Uh, how do I use the output? Oh, right. Okay. It's right in front of me the whole time. There we go. So I would like to tie this to the rotation of these things. Um, what is it controlling? Um, so it's really like to do the pinch gesture properly. Oh no. Oh no. Have I think I've gotten myself in trouble. So, um, to do the pinch gesture properly, I think what you want, yeah, you want to freeze the fingers in place. So the idea is that not freeze the fingers, but freeze the content. Can I show my touches? No, I can't. Okay, so you put your two fingers down on the screen, and then the idea is that like the text that you put your fingers down on stays glued to the finger. So like if you put your finger down on metal and sympathize, then that text stays under your fingers. That would be the ideal. That's actually not what the ARC people have done. I notice that's what I would have done. They have done something simpler, it seems. They just start tying the pinch to the rotation. All right, well, fine. I will just do that. So, okay. Rotation. Presumably this is in radians. Um, no, it's in degrees. Okay. And it looks like a reasonable value for perspective has been set. Is there any way to customize that? Hmm. All right, we are 1 hour in. Right, that was a. Um, well, this is not helpful. Okay, that's fine. Let's just start here. So the transition isn't really quite what I want. So what's going to happen? It's something like from 1 to 0. Um, we go from. Well, transition might work. Is there some kind of general interpolation? No. Uh, what's progress do? Shmeh, I can probably make this work. Okay. I don't understand why. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that's like that's something. So when progress is 1, um, the degrees should be 0, and when progress is 0, it should be um, I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. All right. That is doing it. Yep. And we're gonna go further. And this doesn't feel at all right yet. The perspective value is wrong, and I don't yet actually know how to modify that. Oh, right, it should go to nearly flat, I think. How far does it go? Eh. Hmm. Yeah, it also scales less. In fact, it doesn't really scale. It just scales a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, it like uses the first bit to scale. and then it folds. And it scales a little bit more. Maybe? No, I don't think it scales anymore. I think the edge stays basically the same width. All right, so it scales down to like 0.95 or something, and then it folds. Ugh. So I gotta put a cap on the scale. We can do that. Yeah, we're just gonna something like this. Yeah, something like this. All right. Yeah, that looks about right, honestly. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna ignore anything greater than one. Yeah, this is pretty okay. Okay, I think it should actually go a little bit further. Yeah, maybe like 0.92 or something. All right, that's a start. Um, how do I just like make a number be repeated? Can I put a constant? Does it just want a number? I want to be able to make an input for multiple. I want a number, please. Hmm. I'm sure there is a way to do this. I just don't know what it is. Data? No. Well, maybe I'm supposed to use a variable broadcaster. Okay. Hmm. Feels this feels really bad. Very duplicative. Oops. But at least I can now adjust both of those values. So the reason I did that was so that I can uh, more natural way to do this. Actually, I don't need to. I don't need to do this. Okay. Great. Yeah, and as I feared, now the anchor's subtly wrong. And it's because I made the seam not be exactly at the midpoint. Why is this stuff offset? Oh, of course, because I moved it. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, well, I think I can, if I do, and then, yeah, I think something like this is gonna work. Although, why are you moving up and away from the bottom of the layer? Okay, well, let's see. If I do, bottom half, um, yeah. Well, that is not right. Why are you clipping anyway? Who's clipping you? Somebody's still clipping. There we go. Okay. No, this is still wrong. Why is it wrong? This bottom thing is pivoting around the wrong spot. Yeah. Hey! Yeah! That's like, right. Okay, so we put our two fingers down, scales down until it hits a point, and then it starts rotating. Now the perspective value is way off. So, um, here as this folds, you notice it doesn't come in from the sides nearly so much. That's the third column, fourth row of the perspective projection transform matrix. It has a different value here, a smaller value than it has here. It defaults to 0, actually, in core animation. So Origami is supplying a perspective value, just not the one we want. It's not clear how to change it, actually. Hmm. So, ah, hey, I wanted to view the comments on Mike's post, but it just opened a tab to. Okay, here we go. Man, it's really. I'm I'm not liking working in origami. I feel um, like this is not easier than code. Is my instinct. The stuff is just being hidden from me. Like there are more values to the transform. What do I can't do I have any recourse at all? Can I insert like a special layer that lets me actually control all the values? I mean, probably not. A lot of people do serious stuff in this tool. I mean, yeah, they must know things I don't. Is there something for like the camera? No. All right, maybe we just like read through all the patches. Say, why is the corner radius four-dimensional? What? Oh, I see, I see. Okay. Man, and I can't even do the math myself because there's no like full transform matrix available to me. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, back into the docs, I guess. I don't think they're gonna help me much. Hmm. Yeah, this is, I guess, just not really a tool for people who know about transform matrices. Um, I think as a designer, like, if I didn't know about 3D math, I would just expect to have a slider or something for perspective. It's per layer in core animation. Yeah, I guess maybe this is a function of the mobile designers at Meta not really doing much with 3D. All right, well, there are matrix types. Aha. Thanks, Andrew. Can I do it myself somehow? I think I can because it's not open source. Hmm. All right, this is getting bad. Yeah, Andrew's comment that there were meant to be 4x4 perspective transforms and he never wired them up is it's not promising. Is there any way to like custom implement a layer like with code? Can I can I be an engineer here? Hmm, JavaScript patch API? Maybe. Oh man, maybe. Uh, can I access layers? Looks like no. Hmm. Via Hermes. Wow. It's pretty elaborate. Man. Okay, well this is cool, but I do not think it actually helps me. I don't think that I can use this to manipulate a layer. Man, this really makes me sad. We were doing pretty well here. Yeah, I think I'm just out of luck. Ugh. Well, that's very unsatisfying. I mean, I have another half hour of it. I almost just don't want to continue because I can't actually do the thing. I guess I'll just push it as far as I can. Very unsatisfying. Very, very unsatisfying. Yeah, I wish I were just using code. So next I'm going to do the shading. Uh, so we're going to connect the pinching to. You can just hear how dejected I am now. I'm just like I don't care anymore. I can't actually do it. I'm so frustrated. This is the thing about prototyping tools. Like you, as opposed to code, you reach their boundary and then and then you just have no recourse. Um, totally limited by what they make available. Okay, why is this not working? Oh, it's because I connected it to the shadow opacity. Whoops. Oh, what am I doing wrong here? Okay, no. Right. When the pinch scale is at 1, you should have 0 opacity. Oh, I connected the color. Whoops. Uh, whoops. Okay. Yeah, and when pinch scale is 0, it should be kind of dark. Yeah, that's all right. So it's like too big. Um, should be um, all right. That's a thing. Man, I'm so mad about this perspective thing. All right. What now? Um, I guess when you let go, um, let's make it snap back. So to do that, I need to expose the interacting. Hmm. Actually, yeah, this is kind of a problem. Yeah, this is an issue with these flow-based systems is that this patch is controlling the position of this layer. And so it's not straight, and also the transform scale. So it's actually not straightforward for me to animate it to some other value. It would be if I were just using imperative programming. I really need to like do the interaction inside of the patch. Well, it's a prototype, so I'll do it. Um, so what? I'm gonna do something like when interacting transitions. Um, uh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, doing state in these noodle programming systems is very difficult. Hmm. I'm gonna watch these values live a bit just to understand how they move around. Ugh. Yeah, and once I'm manipulating something like this, honestly, I might as well be programming. Like, this is just as complicated, in some sense, more complicated. So I'm looking at these accumulators. I think they're implemented as a patch thing. Yeah. Ugh. Why are we accumulating? We're accumulating because this is designed for like a keynote canvas kind of interaction where you can modify something iteratively by pinching on it repeatedly. We're actually doing something different here. So, hmm, I think we want to basically just delete these things. Um, we want instead to um, we want to do something like when the pinch is active, we pass along the pinch scale that's specified, and otherwise we pass along the endpoint of the animation. I'm looking for like a case statement. Splitter. There is, I know there's something like this. I have used it before. I don't know what it's called. Um, it's something kind of like these. Maybe I can make it work with this. So, um, when pinching is one, we're going to pass scale along. Yeah, that's like, that's pretty good. Okay, and right, otherwise we're gonna do an animation. Gonna be two options. Right, so when pinching changes, we're gonna animate, um, and what we're animating from and to will depend on how far you pinched. Man, is this even what I want? So yeah, it's more like when you let go, it does this whole other animation that takes over the position and scale properties and stuff. This is just going to be such a pain in the ass to do in origami. Um, you're gonna have to do these like option-based inputs to all of these different properties of this layer that depend on the state, like if it's in the first state, the page state, or the summary state. I just don't want to do it. That just doesn't seem fun. So I want to do a thing instead where you let go and it goes back to the original value. Oops, right, it goes back to 1. Um, what's going on here? No, it's not connected to anything. That's what's going on here. Why is this? Oh, um, I want it to always go back. So progress is going to go from 1 to 0. All right, that's something. Why is this so slow? All right, that's something. Need to move the position back 2 and do something very similar. How do I do a 2D point? There's point 3D. Size? No. No. Uh, oh, position, I guess? All right. It's kind of funny because I could use it for other 2D point. Like, why isn't this position 3D? Whatever. Man, I'm just not excited about this anymore. 20 more minutes, I'll finish it out. Ugh. Um, yeah, I made the same mistake again. So, okay, you actually need to animate. Right, you need a transition. Oh, and that's wrong. Um, I done? Yep. Why is this off in this way? Um, we're broadcasting 1 and 0. What's going on? 0. Hmm. All right. Hmm. Some kind of weird transition state going on. Yeah, okay. I see position here is not going back to the start. Is there some accumulator nonsense? Oh. Yeah, position isn't position. Right, right, right. Can you not do any of this? This is just really no, no. Get the position from the position. Okay. All right. Well, why are you jumping like this? Maybe I do need all that stuff. Uh-oh. It's still jumping. I think something's not being reset. Like, hmm. I do not know what all this pivot stuff is doing. I think it's finding the centroid. I think that's what they mean by pivot. I noticed that the first time I do it, it behaves okay. Kind of. It's not really translating down to the centroid like I think it should be. So in that way, it doesn't actually behave like iOS's pinch gesture. And I don't have the interest in debugging or rebuilding this thing. Origami is just so clearly not the right tool for this job. Not just because of its missing perspective transform stuff, but also just the statefulness of this interaction. It's just really unpleasant to specify. In origami, you end up having yeah, you got to break the abstraction of this drag scale rotate thing. I suppose if I were a little bit more deft with um, origami's systems of abstraction, I could maybe make a patch that emitted the values I wanted, and then I could kind of move the logic about animating this outside stuff I can move all that out so that the direct control over the scale of the layer wasn't down here. But I notice I just don't want to. Just uh, my experience in the last 2 hours has not made me enthusiastic about investing more energy into this tool. All right. Well, one last thing, I guess. Let's got a little bit of time, so let's just see what we can do in terms of the kind of magical background stuff. What's happening? It looks like there's like a red dot and a blue dot, and they're kind of spinning. We could probably do something like that. So what? Let's do like a big red dot, and then we're just gonna blur the hell out of it somehow. I don't really understand under what conditions I can edit a value by dragging on it. Sometimes I can, but not always. That's like, that's kind of what they're doing. And they're like rotating about each other or something like this. Is it just the two? Looks like there's maybe like a third. There might be like an orange. Is that just their logo, maybe? And it disappears? But not entirely. Like, this is still quite blue up here. This is still quite warm up here. So it's more like it like scales up and fades out. All right. Oh, that's interesting. The blur isn't actually showing up on my device. Notice it's like just hard edges here. Um, but over here in the viewer, it is showing up. That's bad. Um, well, don't quite know what I can do about that. I guess maybe I can use. Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay. Um, and this is also kind of blue. So, like it's not just white, or right now it's gray. It's like a slightly blue. Really just shooting from the hip here. Yeah, bluer. And why is it, oh, because the bottom bar. Yeah, that's an approximation. Okay. So, yeah, these things should just rotate. Um, uh, what have I screwed up here? Why isn't this working? Um, it's just way too big. Okay. This should, okay, yeah, it's rotating. Yeah, that's not terrible. Okay. Yeah, all right. What's going on here? Oh, they're not actually in the group. Was I just hallucinating the rotation? That's really funny. That's really funny. I think I was just hallucinating it. That explains why didn't seem like this was as responsive as I expected. All right. This doesn't seem quite as colorful as, yeah, these guys are bigger maybe? Who knows? Sure. Oops. Kind of fun to try to manipulate this while it's rotating. Uh, I've made things worse. Okay. All right, that's something. I think I'm gonna call it a day. All right, so I'm gonna record a little demo. Okay. Well, I think my conclusion is that I don't really feel like I want to learn origami any further at this time. I'm still interested in rapid prototyping tools, but I think I want to try a different tool next time. And maybe even try to do the same demo in that tool. See what happens. This is a pretty frustrating experience. I started out quite enthusiastic and ended up just feeling kind of grumpy and demoralized, which is not how I want to feel about my prototyping tool. Okay, that's that.